In today's Money Monday, where do we go from here? The coronavirus has affected so many of us financially. People have lost their jobs, some businesses are struggling, and some people planning to retire may have to wait because their investments have now dipped. So what does the future hold? Let's bring in Jayme Meredith, Senior Vice President at Hefren-Tillotson, to get some answers. Thank you for joining us, Jayme.
It's always great to be here. Wish we could do it in person, but we're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
It will happen again one day. And first, let's talk about the possible second stimulus checks. They're supposed to talk about this in Washington again today, try to reach some sort of an agreement. And there are a lot of people depending on this right now, right?
Right. The markets are going up, but the economy really hasn't recovered. And as of Friday, a lot of the stimulus from the first CARES package, which was passed back in March, expired. So the big contentious issue is the extra $600 a week bonus numbers that folks that are unemployed are receiving. That expired on Friday, but also countrywide, a number of moratoriums on evictions for renters pretty soon. We're going to see some relief from mortgage payments, student loans payments expiring. So it's really, really important for Congress to come to an agreement. We're seeing economists countrywide. The Fed chair, Jay Powell, says we need more fiscal stimulus, and we're at a very, very critical point in the economy. The virus is growing. We're seeing bars, restaurants, travel, movie theaters still struggling, and with 30 million people trying to find a job, that stimulus couldn't come at a better time.
And you mentioned the extra $600 for unemployment, the weekly benefit that has just ended. What should people do if they're in that situation where they were really relying on that extra $600?
Right, and there's no easy answers for those folks that are struggling. Now, the good news is both the Senate and the House have agreed upon another $1,200 payment to folks that qualify, so there will be an income limit just like the first time, and hopefully those checks will come out soon. But for folks that need that extra $600 to pay rent, to pay mortgage, to pay for food, electricity bills, there are some resources out there. Check with your local state, city, search online. There are a number of resources that, for folks that really depend on that, and without that extra $600, they're going to miss some of those payments. But it is really important for folks to, again, prioritize and just hang on tight. I wish I had some good answers, but there just aren't at this point.
And I know you can't predict the future, but I'm going to ask this anyway. What do you think is the most pivotal to getting our economy going again? I mean, are we sort of stuck in this until there is a vaccine? At that point, can things rebound?
Yeah, our economy is really split. There are areas that are doing okay and actually doing well. Technology companies just released earnings last week, blew past expectations. So a lot of technology companies are doing very, very well. Other parts of the economy are doing just fine. You're able to do what you do. I'm able to do what I do. But the parts of the economy that are the hardest hit, travel, retail, we saw our oldest department store, Lord & Taylor, declare bankruptcy over the weekend. Those areas are not getting better, and it has a lot to do with the pandemic, has a lot to do with social distancing. If you own a restaurant and can only operate at 25% capacity, there's not a lot of profit margin there to pay your bills, pay your employees. So that is the most sensitive part, and that probably won't get better until we find some sort of solution, maybe some bubble of vinyl over all the restaurant seats, which none of us would like, or when we see that vaccine. Now, some of the experts, Dr. Fauci, the leading expert, is encouraged that we may see a vaccine as early as November. Now, even if that happens, that doesn't mean that automatically restaurants and bars and movie theaters are going to snap back. It's going to take a while to produce enough vaccine, not only for the 350 million people in our country, but the 7-8 billion people, number of people worldwide. It's going to take a long time to have that vaccine really into the population. So it is going to be a while. Parts of our economy are going to continue to struggle. The good news is we do see prosperity on the other side. A lot of experts, economists, analysts are looking for a recovery in 2021 and even potentially a return to expansion in 2022 and beyond. So we see the other side of this cliff. We see the other side of this valley. It's just going to take a little bit of time before we get there.
Well, I love that we ended on an up note there, because it's nice to think about getting to the other side of the valley and things going well again. So thank you, as always, Jayme, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Always great to be here.
All right, we thank Jayme for answering our questions, and we want to thank Hefren-Tillotson for sponsoring today's Money Monday segment. Heather?